Okay, there we go. We've started. Hello everybody. Happy Wednesday. Today we're going to talk about the fact that we have discovered a cure for environmental cancer. Now, personally, I am a cancer patient. I have been battling cancer since 2005. I have an environmental cancer. I have had over 13 surgeries. I have been through multiple experimental radiation components, chemo components, all kinds of medicines. Um, and yet my cancer still is there. My cancer is incurable. And I am on a mission to investigate cancer causing pollutants and the communities that are affected by them. Our very first movie was Phosphate, and we're about to release a movie on Cancer Alley, and we're actually starting a third investigation coming up. Now, the reason that we want to talk about this is that because environmental cancers are not given any credit. There's a recent discovery that they found that 1 in 2 people will get cancer in their lifetimes. And now, in order to really make sense of that, like we always say, when you're at dinner, look around your dinner table and just imagine 1 in 2 people. Who will be those people at your dinner table that are going to get the cancer? Cancer's out. You may have heard these false reports that people are now living longer with cancer. That is not the ray of hope they're trying to present. What they're talking about is the fact that 80 to 90% of new cancers that are coming out are environmental, which means they are not passed along by genes. They are simply caused by our environment and our inability to regulate the pollutants that are coming out of our factories, out of our towns, and are poisoning all of our aquifers, all of our rivers, all of our groundwater, all of our soil, all of our air. And you know what? We're angry and we don't want this anymore. We're sick of getting cancer so that a company can make a profit. It is not our burden to bear, and it should not be our responsibility. So, um, this is why we wanted to talk today. What can we do? Now, cancer has been around a long time. Cancer has been around since the Greek days. Cancer was named by Hippocrates. Cancer comes from the Greek word carcinoma, which is now carcinoma, which means crab. And it's because cancers have these little balls and these little tentacles that come out. My personal cancer works like that. It actually grows from my tailbone, and the doctors have never quite seen this before. They've tried to chop it out. I can no longer have surgeries because I've had so many that if they reopen me, there's just everything's been redone. There's no way they can even do that. So that's out of it for me. Now, what happens is it grows, and then these tentacles grow, and they grow into my body, and they grow around my organs, and eventually they'll suffocate my organs unless we manage the growth of these tentacles. So that's what I battle. It's a long timeline that I have. They grow slow, but a slow, painful cancer isn't any kind of blessing. So, a lot of people say, oh, well, you don't have colon cancer. You're very lucky. No, you know what? I'm not lucky. Nobody's lucky. Nobody's lucky that has cancer. That is bullshit. Okay? Whether you have colon cancer, you have stage 4 cancer, you have skin cancer that doesn't stop, you have environmental cancer, you are terrorized from the moment you hear it until your last moment because your cancer might not come back. It might come back. Your cancer might not go away. It depends. I mean, everyone has a different cancer. You can't compare them. The fact is, majority of these cancers shouldn't be around and they shouldn't exist, and they don't have to. The only reason they do is because we allow them to pollute us. So what's the cure? The cure is simply to stop it at the source. These companies create pollution, and the more pollution they can get away with, the higher their profit margin is. These companies are not responsible. These companies do not self regulate, and these companies should not be trusted. And yet, we have everybody running around debating whether or not they should regulate themselves. It's not a political debate, it's a health debate. And you all are playing with our lives when you start to debate these stupid things. Like, should we trust this company to regulate themselves? Obviously not. We've had 100 years of companies regulating themselves, and we now have PFAS, plastics in all of our bodies. We now have our biodiversity is disappearing. We now have biomagnification of of cancer causing and endocrine disrupting plastics that start out in the water. You know, people just discovered that recently. Now everybody knows there's PFAS everywhere. So, yes, we are passionate about it. We are tired of being silenced. We are tired of being sick. And we are tired of all of this happening so that somebody can buy an island or a yacht somewhere. You know what? We don't care how you do. We don't care about your success. We don't care about any of that. We care about our health and our families. Stop poisoning us. Stop giving us environmental cancers. And the only way that we can do is we can stop these environmental cancers is if we stop it at the source. So there we go. The cure for environmental cancer. Solved. Simple. It just is going to require companies to do better. Yeah, that's all there is to it. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. This is the first live. We're going to keep everybody updated from now on. I'm going to start doing these short lives and talk about some real deal things, real problems, and real solutions for the world that we live in, because we need to save the people, the animals, and the environment before it's too late. And we have that opportunity. We're in a magical time where we can do this. We can actually do this. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I can't wait to see your comments. Let's keep the discussion going. See you soon.